Are you okay?
I will be.
This is Try Before We Die. It's a whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. I'm Colin, and I'm here with my pal Mal. How's it going, buddy?
It's been good.
When's the last time somebody called you maniac?
I bet you 7 years? No, maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, when did we do the reunion?
22.
So since 22.
Yeah. Okay.
I have not been called that in a long.
I got MJ'd the other day in some electronic thing, and it might have been from G-Man. Yeah, it was. I'm getting a yes. I was like, MJ, LOL, right? That's a long time. That's back to pub crawling in the paintball days, everybody. As we know, hundreds of bottles of unopened single malt Scotch whiskey in this bar. We let Randy guide the way, and whether you can get it today or it was a vintage malt, we've got a old label Inchgour up there. It doesn't matter. Number comes up, we open it. That should be obvious to anybody who's seen any episodes before today. There's a little movement.
It's like just continuously moves. Continuously moves. For the love of God, just give me like a couple episodes where I could just like, oh, here it is.
This is it. All right. Well, the Edgar has moved.
Okay, yeah.
So I just need you to. That's going to be your staple.
That's your
set
anchor point.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, the Edgar. All right, here we go. Come on, Randy. What do you think? Deep, dark, and peaty?
No, I bet you would get very. No, I actually know the way things go, and I bet you it would be like some high alcohol.
How about a flora and fauna release?
No, it's gonna be some high alcohol.
All right.
I bet that was one of your million Wolfburns.
540. Now I'm gonna need you to walk right over there and get that bottle.
Kid,
so you see 542? It's labeled.
Yeah.
541's the one before it. So 540 is the one right on the other side of the beam behind the light. That's the one.
This one's gonna be tricky.
That's gonna be easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, I got it. Why?
You got it. It's short and stubby.
What are you putting cologne up there for?
My grandma gives me Avon for Christmas.
Those were the days.
I used to get those.
We're that old.
So we've got a Lochlea. Bottle 540 is the Harvest Edition, second crop, coming in at 46% ABV. Lochlea. What do you know about Lochlea, Malcolm?
It comes in a cologne bottle. Didn't we've done one.
We have done a Lochlea before. Batch strength number 1, which was phenomenal. It happened to have been a year where we didn't declare a whiskey of the year, but it was certainly in the running for me. All right. Anything else?
No.
Who used to live at Lochlea? It's a farm, by the way, if that's helpful, in Scotland.
Nope, couldn't hear.
In January every year, there's a little celebration about this fella.
Nah, no way he's doing it. This time around, it's like, if this is charade,
It just fell right out.
It would be awful.
Robert
Burns.
Thank you. All right. What else do we know about Lochlea? Do you know about Lochlea?
That was it. You've now spent.
That was it. Robert Burns.
Yeah.
I think he spent 2 summers or 2 years there in one of their outbuildings, maybe even writing some poetry. It's a newer distillery. Probably coming online within the last, I'd say, 10 years thereabouts, because this is the second crop, right? So they're growing their own barley.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they have the harvest, they have the plowing edition, they have the fallow edition, they have their batch strengths. And recently they have just released batch strength number 3, which is a marriage of peated and sherried whiskeys. It's the first time they're doing something with that flavor profile. Something caught your eye there?
Yeah. Matured in a combination of port, then I don't know what the next part is, and bourbon.
Port.
STR.
Scraped.
Oh, is that what that means?
What do you think the T means?
Hmm.
What do you normally have with your eggs? Tea. Toasted, scraped, toasted, and
Charred.
Yes. So we've got.
It's like pulling teeth for me. It's a great. Like, yeah, I wonder if I can I just.
Oh, are you suggesting that was intentional?
No.
Okay. So we got port casks. We've got some casks that have been brought back to life because they've been scraped of the old, recharred, right? Toasted and recharred.
So then,
and
why would that
bourbon
have not
cask.
been like labeled on what it was beforehand? So that's just an oak cask, right? Because it seems like it was 3 different casks. That's what I was getting at.
Oh, I think it is 3 different casks.
So would the just the scrape one just been an oak cask that they just?
Well, I would have had to have been a bourbon cask in my mind. So they probably have some fresh bourbon cask, and then they brought back to life a cask. But even through the scraping, toasting, and recharring, it doesn't mean they've eliminated all the previous impact. They're just bringing it back to life. And perhaps we'll get some marshmallow in here. Any thoughts?
No, keep going.
I want you to pick up the slack.
Keep going.
A lot of words on the back. Independent family-owned distillery in the heart of Ayrshire, Scotland. They grow their own barley, distill their spirit right on site. And my understanding is it's a wonderful place to visit. And I think there might even be an opportunity to stay at the farm as well as a tourist.
All right.
Yep. Right. Lochlea. What do you got?
Just looking at the bottle.
What do you think this is?
The fluting or diagonal.
Yeah, what do you think that is?
The grip.
Think it could be grain, a representation of like.
No, so you can grip the bottle better. So
it doesn't slip. Remember handles?
No, I try not to.
I don't remember them.
No,
because I've been there with them.
Yeah, I don't.
All right. What do you got for a color?
Light gold?
Light gold. It really is. It's not an amber.
No, I don't think it has enough orange in it.
Right. Light gold. Bottle 540. Not the highest bottle we pulled because we had Rick grab 540 something. 548 because it's a numbered, right? So this is one of the highest bottles we've pulled. So light gold.
Yeah.
Got anything developing at 46? This is one of your sweet spot ABVs, right? A lot of people talk about that 45 to 47 being a sweet spot for them as well. I kind of like the higher numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You got it right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Right. So it took a second to develop, but it didn't develop immediately. So that's representative of the medium ABV. That's good legs.
And I like the way there's these drips where it goes up.
Yeah.
And it just creates like this little breakaway. And then there's like a little crown of drips.
Yeah. It's neat. We had a fella on the chat for the YouTube channel. Oh, we're over here now. Ask about why we spend time with the legs, right? And it's part of the whiskey experience that can sort of prepare you for perhaps viscosity and mouthfeel, and where the ABV is in addition to, we know the number. But if you didn't know the number and somebody just handed you a glass, that would be a way to sort of determine, this is okay. Where's the ABV potentially lying? A range, right? So it didn't show up right away, but it came fairly quick. So we're at that medium, mid 40s. Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. I bet sometimes you're in certain social situations and you like channel this information and flex. Did you do any of that when we were out at Otter's wedding? When I was in the side conversation, and did you flex any whiskey knowledge?
I could have just a little. Just a little. Yeah. Usually, I always preface it with your name first, because if it's wrong, then I can lay it on me. The bus. And then all you would hear is the horn. And the buzz would be long gone, and I would be on the opposite side of the room.
What just happened? All right.
No, I mean, there is. I mean, as little as I do retain.
Yep.
Right? There is a lot that you sort of like start to pick up. And it's interesting you bring up the ABV, because I personally think that 45 to 47 is like perfect range. I don't feel like it's too overpowering or too light.
Yep.
you get enough of the flavors coming through, but you have some alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you use that as a description because, yes, there are certain traits that go with different ABV volumes.
Yes. Agreed. Not necessarily a 100% guarantee, but it points you in a direction.
But I would say out of all the markers, that's probably the one that you could probably always pull back to.
Yep.
We've already broken the color doesn't really portray, ABV doesn't really portray,
right?
But that look on the glass sort of just always will say, well, this is what you're dealing with.
Right. That's the juice. Yeah. Well, let's see what this juice smells like. Oh, pleasant. That's the port cask.
And the backside is the bourbon.
And it's fresh. Which one was this again? The plowing, the fallow, the harvest edition. So they releases on the seasons, right? In terms of their crops. So this is the harvest season.
And I like that you brought up marshmallow because that's that sort of flavor I'm getting at the back of this.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. I thought of marshmallow because I thought of the STR, the scrape toast char, right? That would bring out some of that, just like a s'more is really what I was thinking about.
But it dissipates pretty quickly. Now I'm having a harder time to just draw it all in.
Yeah, there's a lot happening here, especially around this port beginning.
That port you can definitely, it's got that wine.
Right, which is so separate, so different than the sherry caskings. It is a little winey. Remember Saturday Night Live, Doug and Wendy Weiner? Hey, we're the whiners.
Thank God this show is based around alcohol. Because this was just like water. This place would be horrid.
Oh, yes. This is definitely mountain spring water.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pleasant.
Right. Pleasant, winey, sweet.
Now I'm going to throw out my lack of knowledge. Highland? Lowland? Speyside?
Lochlea is a lowland. Let's see if I've got that correct. I feel pretty good about Lochlea being a lowland. It's not advertised on the label, but I feel good about it being a lowland. Okay.
Which, if that would explain a lot why this is so mellow.
Right. Relax. It almost entered the glass relaxed.
All right.
Lochlea, the Harvest Edition, second crop.
Cheers.
46 ABV. Great mouthfeel right off the bat. It's not super thick or syrupy. What is that, Mel? What is that? What is that flavor at the end?
I don't know, but I will tell you this. This is a very punchy 46.
Yeah, you can breathe it right out through your nose. There's something happening in the backside that's a very familiar flavor. And not related to other whiskeys, but, what is that?
Mint?
Well, so I like what you're thinking, because I was definitely thinking something herbal, right?
Wintergreen?
All right, so I definitely will agree with the second half of that word. It's something green, right? It's not a dried herb; it's a fresh herb.
Because it sits there right before your throat.
Yeah.
And it just lingers there.
Did you pick up on that mouthfeel as soon as it came in? Did it just go?
What was, again, we've had a couple, it's almost like a velvet.
Yes, I like that velvet. I like
And
that.
this was very much, it felt
Yeah.
like it just like this velvet coating that was going down.
How about try this on? And apparently, I poured these a little short. A velvety Ricola.
It's definitely something.
It's not as sharp. It's so well rounded.
Yeah, because if you breathe in, you get that cooling. I don't know.
Oh, see, that's a much better pop there than the original. Do you feel like you need a little bit more to make an accurate? I'm going to cheat here and just see if there's any information on the back. All right, dates, red grapes, marmalade,
Okay, orange.
dried fruit, and creamy finish. And that's that velvet.
Yes.
Right. So for sure we're experiencing that cream, that velvety roundabout. I think where they're talking a little bit about perhaps some pepper is where we're having that. You're talking about that punchy ABV, that spiciness. I just absolutely love the entry of this whiskey into the mouth. It really just almost expands immediately, covers the mouth, but not in a syrupy way. But it's not light. It's let's say if 100% mouthfeel, this is probably in that 47% mouthfeel, right? Between light and moderate.
It's moments like this is where I feel lost because I can't really pick up on flavors.
Okay.
But the flavor is really good. And you mentioned, and this is probably my biggest struggling block is you'll mention these dates and what was it grapes?
Right. And that's somebody else's position.
True.
Grapefruit.
But you're trying to like
Right.
trying to pick up because when you say, oh, it tastes like this, I can't seem to pick out those flavors, but this has got a lot of flavor to it. And that ending is truly different.
No, right off the bat, what did I say? What's that thing happening at the end? Right? Because it's got this, and for me, the velvet creamy is really in the beginning. And then it moves into this very herbal ending. And there's more words on the back, and we'll dig into what this whole label says later.
And you said grapefruit? Is that what you said?
I think that's what it said. And it's very different than their batch strength one.
Right.
But again, I think that speaks to the casks used. So let's see if we can just take a second on this winey port, right? Where's that landing in the mouth? Because it's definitely on the nose.
Okay, so for me, I can answer that right now.
Yeah, okay.
For me, it's the top of my mouth.
All right.
When I push my tongue up to sort of scrape, that's when I get that. It's almost like I'm trying to filter it. But that's where I get that wine, that port.
Yeah. I still feel good about this idea of a velvety Ricola.
Okay.
Right.
I definitely agree with the two parts of that answer questions that I have in my head at this moment in time. That velvet is definitely,
Yep.
and then that Ricola, like I said, every time I breathe in now,
It's refreshing.
it is very refreshing.
Yeah.
And that's when I go back to like when I struggle to pick up the flavors, there is a lot of flavor in this drink.
So one of the cool things about a distillery like Lochlea is that it's new enough and it's small enough that it's still artisanal, right? That it's not this mass production. It's not this multi-million liter operation, right? So, and it's certainly not dinging those as well, because we've had excellent whiskeys from the big boys too. But there's something about like that they're really paying attention to quality, because if they don't make their mark right off the bat, Because again, right, you have to produce, and then you have to wait a minimum of 3 years before you can call it Scotch whiskey. And then you've invested 3 years of paying salaries and benefits and whatever the fees are, right? There's regarding owning the land and buying the seed for the crop and the equipment, especially if you're growing your whole things, right? So that the quality control really has to be in place, because the minute you put your product on the market, either you got a hit or you got a dud, right? And so they got to make their money, right? And that's the reality of the world we live in and the planet we inhabit. But these guys are producing some whiskey, and this is our second bottle I think we've opened of Lochlea, that is hitting a lot of the marks, and doesn't make me feel bad that there are at least 3 more examples up on the shelf, and I'm looking to source another one.
So just to reiterate what we just did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Velvet mouthfeel, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put the port wine at the top of my mouth.
Right? I heard that.
After that, that's where I get that peppercorn, peppery sort of. There's this flavor that sits right before, and then I go into that.
It's a short-lived spice.
Whatever we want to call this back end,
this herbal end, right? Yeah,
that's how this breaks down. And again, it goes back to I wish I was more developed just because of just the interest, not because I want to be anything. But it would be interesting to see. It would be great that they would have like a diagram, and they said this is where you get this is where you get
flavor wheel.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So because then you could be like, oh, okay, that's where I was at. Mm-hmm. But the flavor of this is quite remarkable.
It feels easy to go back for more of this.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. What would you do with it? We've got some well-aged Australian cheddar. So this is the Grand Reserve Old Crock. This is that excellent cheddar. So I decided that we'd pull some of that out. Got some ginger, some orange chocolate, some nice cashews, salted, some chili pineapple, some salted chocolate, and some peppercorn salmon. What would you do with a whiskey like this, given this arrangement?
I like the cashews.
I was going to go nuts as well.
Because of the creamy saltiness of them.
What's the famous circumstance on this planet many years ago where nuts was the answer to the question?
It was, I'm going to probably get the year wrong, but I want to say it was December of 44.
Uh-huh. Where were we?
We were in Belgium.
Uh-huh. The Ardennes, yeah.
And it was a small town that had been surrounded by the Germans.
The Axis.
The Axis power.
Yes.
And there was a message sent to the commanding officer
of the Allies.
Yeah. And he looked at the message and
it was replied, a surrender kind of, would you like to give up?
Yeah. You're surrounded by mechanized units of the German army. And the reply was, nuts.
I suspect they were drinking VAT 69, which was a well-known blended Scotch whiskey, still available, but widely drank in WW2.
So yes, I think
it's a salted cashew, because there's a delicate nature here, and I wouldn't want to overpower it.
No.
And cashews are creamy. Yeah, that's great. Brings out a little spice. Other than that, the creamy of the cashew matches the velvety of the whiskey. Look at you. I'm not giving you any more. Did it work?
Not the way that you explained it. For me, it was more now I have this spike of flavor from the pepper.
Okay, that's the spice I just said.
But if I didn't find it creamier. I just found that now I had a spike of flavor.
The cream of the cashew matched the velvety of the whiskey, but the spice of the spice was more pronounced.
Sure.
You said the same thing.
Okay.
Can you just own it?
I'm a bit of it because my glass is empty.
Let's see what the crew has for us as we wrap up Lochlea the Harvest Edition second crop coming in at 46% ABV. Here's the alcohol, the cause and the solution to all of life's problems.
I feel like a guest on an EMR deck.
All right, our second Lochlea does not disappoint. I love the fact that they're doing some core releases at 46%, that they're not coming in at 43 or 40. And the fact that they brought in 3 different types of casks really develops this whiskey in a nice way.
I like the fact that it's got like this whole bodied of taste.
Really worked well with the cashew.
Did.
Yeah.
With a bearded man and a British guy.